The Mercedes' new philosophy change did bring a fresh breeze to Brackley with some podium finishes, but Austria proved again that the W14 has lots more issues for the team to solve if they indeed want to fight for race wins and championships. However, the team acknowledges its position in the pecking order after the Austrian GP and has talked about making improvements in areas where it is lacking the most with the team's tipped Silverstone upgrade package. Will we see Mercedes clinch the team's first win of the season at this weekend's British Grand Prix? After its major Monaco upgrades being introduced, Mercedes made massive steps forwards, bagging in 3 podiums. But last weekend's Austrian Grand Prix relegated Mercedes back to being the 5th fastest team, 1 position behind where they started the season with. George Russell and Lewis Hamilton finished P7 and P8 respectively. While Russell had to make a comeback drive after a disastrous qualifying, Hamilton just dropped places due to the lack of pace and not being able to keep his car within the white lines. Track limits was a major talking point around Spielberg, but the rules were clear and penalties were issued according to that. And this topic becomes even more frustrating to Lewis' side, because his teammate did not even receive a single warning regarding track limits. Upon further investigation, it was discovered that the difference in car setup was the reason for the difference in driving between Hamilton and Russell. The Red Bull Ring is a rear-oriented track, which already is a disadvantage for the W14 in terms of track characteristics. The circuit consists of slow and high-speed corners. Slow-speed corners require a stable rear end, while high-speed corners require a good front end. The W14 generally has a strong front end, which correlates with its Barcelona performance. But the Mercedes car has a poor rear end, which Lewis Hamilton has pointed out at many occasions. So this was a compromise the team had to find a perfect balance on when preparing for the Austrian Grand Prix. Keeping this in mind, Lewis' side of the garage took a gamble on car setup. The engineers decided to take out some aerodynamic load off the front wing to give the car a much more balanced feel. But the team went too extreme with the gamble, as Lewis suffered with a lot of understeer during the race. The ultimate endpoint for their chosen setup was that the car was good on new, responsive tires, but when the tires were worn, it was slow because of persistent understeer. A race is not run on new tires for very long. By trying to avoid exposing their struggles with the rears, they compromised themselves with understeer in the faster right-handers in the final 2 corners, failing to get the car to turn in quickly enough and costing them pace down the pit straight and problems with track limits infringements. Hamilton talked about this post-race as he added, "We took out a lot of front wing. We knew we had a really bad rear end here, so we took out a lot of front wing to try and keep that balance so that we could do a long run, go long. And we massively under-egged it. I was like, almost full lock around the last 2 corners. Going into turn 10, it was just sliding and I couldn't do anything about it. A car with a good balance, such as the RB19, will fare better around the Austrian track. That was something that Mercedes did not have. Even Aston Martin, a car which has a good rear end, was slower around Austria due to its strong front characteristics. This goes on to show where the true weakness of the W14 lies around now, and what the team should work on going to Silverstone and beyond. As Hamilton has insisted for more times than we could count, the team has to try hard on improving rear downforce generation. This can be done by many methods, but the Silver Arrows are going to try 2 techniques at Silverstone with its big upgrade package. One way is, the Silver Arrows are expecting to introduce an upgraded floor around Silverstone, with upgraded bodywork to accompany the changes made beneath. James Allison, the technical director of Mercedes, has talked previously about how much his engineering team back at Brackley are trying to work out the complexity of the Red Bull floor, which was revealed back at Monaco. While he did stress that a copy of the Red Bull floor could not be mounted on the Mercedes car due to the differences in chassis structure. The Mercedes tech genius did talk about how the team are learning more about how the floor could be worked to generate clean and consistent downforce. But yes, we got a nice clutch of Red Bull imagery, and that's always a good thing for our aerodynamicists to pore over and see if we can pick out details that will be of interest to us in our ongoing test program. Toto Wolff, when previously talking about the Mercedes upgrades, he revealed that Mercedes would be bringing upgrades surrounding the floor and the car's bodywork. But the trackside engineering director of Mercedes, Andrew Shovlin, revealed one more key part that the team intends to upgrade for what the team calls to be the closest to a home race this weekend. During the team's Austrian race debrief video, Shovlin acknowledged the quality of the battle they are currently enjoying in the top 4, which appeared to become a top 5 with McLaren having muscled their way into contention in Austria, with Lando Norris enjoying strong pace behind the wheel of his heavily updated MCL60. Shovlin revealed that the team will introduce new front wing specifications, and he hopes the new upgrades to the W14 will help propel Mercedes forward after an underwhelming weekend in Austria by their standards. Well, it's a fantastic event that we really look forward to, said Chauvelin. The team is based very close to the track, we've got 2 British drivers and the support is always absolutely phenomenal, so we love going there. We've got updates coming to the car, we have a new front wing that we're going to be bringing that will hopefully move us a bit further up the grid. This is very much interesting news from the Mercedes trackside engineering director, and I believe the front wing upgrade is the second way the team is trying to improve the W14's rear end. On a Formula 1 car, the front wing is the first part of the car entirety that airflow interacts with. The front wing is the part which shapes the airflow over the front suspension and towards the front floor fences and side pods. Therefore, changes made to the front wing design will determine not only how much aerodynamic load acts on the car's front, but also will be a partial key on how well the car's underfloor works in generating downforce. The more clean and high-energy air the front wing is able to feed the underfloor, the more downforce the underfloor generates, resulting in the car having greater stability and having the ability to use less loaded rear wings to improve aerodynamic efficiency. This is good news for Mercedes, as their prospects for the British Grand Prix has become even better with this news. When talking about the team's expectations for the British Grand Prix, Andrew Chauvelin added, "And also, we're hoping that the track itself is just going to suit the car a bit better than that Austria circuit. So we're working very hard. We know that it's going to be very difficult to get anywhere close to Max in the Red Bull car, but we've got a great fight going on at the moment with Ferrari, with Aston Martin, McLaren have joined in that battle. So as I said, we're going to be working really hard to make sure we can get as much out of the package as we can, and hopefully it'll be a great race for all the fans." Silverstone is a circuit that has a variety of high and low speed corners. This does not benefit one particular aspect of a car's performance, whether that is its front end, rear end, high or low speed or top speed. At Silverstone, a lap requires a little bit of everything, as well as driver commitment. As always, maintaining the balance of the car is crucial, but if you have a difficulty in one area, you may make up for it in the others. When asked from George Russell about how the British Grand Prix will pan out for the Silver Arrows, he pointed out the similarities between the Barcelona and Silverstone circuits. He expects an immediate bounce back by himself and his teammate. "Our performance is clearly circuit dependent now. We were nowhere here but good in Montreal and Barcelona," said Russell. That bodes well for Silverstone, as that is a circuit more similar to Barcelona than Austria, so we're excited for next weekend's British Grand Prix. We will be aiming to come back stronger. Toto Wolff is also hopeful about the team's prospects around Silverstone, as he expects the upgrades to provide the team with the edge over its rivals. "The team has been hard at work to analyze and draw learnings from our performance. We have taken the result on the chin and will aim to recapture the momentum we had built up across previous races," said Wolff. With the next upgrades and experiments coming in Silverstone, there are reasons for optimism. Nevertheless, we are not getting ahead of ourselves. We're focused on the job at hand, extracting performance from the car, and we'll see where we stand this weekend. So what do you guys think? With Toto Wolff aiming for a win, can Mercedes really achieve that result? What are your expectations from the upgrades brought by Mercedes to Silverstone? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section down below. We'd love to discuss it with you. And on your way down, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get notified of our future uploads, to keep yourselves up to date about the 2023 Formula 1 season.